What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update video. We're going to tell you today where all the Tottenham players are going to be throughout the international break. Another slog of an international break where most European teams are playing 3 games. I mean, it's completely unheard of. It's completely ridiculous. But we'll leave that later on. Let's bring up some better news for you at the start of this video. And we're going to start off with the Guardian's reports, Fabrizio Romano's reports that Tottenham are in talks with. Well, we actually brought you a report about 3-4 weeks ago, it was now, where Son was in talks with Tottenham over a new contract. But now it looks as though that it is nearly over the line, but it's just not there yet. Of talks of a 200 grand a week contract.
Yeah, and lasting until 2025 or 2026. Yeah, that's right. And look, the quicker we get this over the line, the better. Apparently, in last summer, I think the article said there was interest from top European clubs.
Why wouldn't there be?
And so that's why Tottenham are pushing to kind of get this contract over the line. And look, the way he started the season, the way he's been since he's come to the club, he deserves a big pay rise and parity with our biggest players. So it's important that we get this one sewn up.
What's he on at the moment? Was it about 140 or something like that?
About 150, 140, yeah. He'll be on 200.
Everyone, I think there's no one in the Tottenham fan base that can disagree with that, is there? Absolutely no one. So give Sonny that contract. Well, it looks like you're giving it to him. So sign that contract, Sonny, because we need you. Let's move on. And this is an interesting one. Saka has been full of praise. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal player, has been full of praise of Harry Kane. He's saying that Harry Kane put an arm around him, welcomed him into the England squad, and helped him settle in big time. And I was thinking, back in the day when you had the golden era of the England squad, well, what they said was the golden era, the Lampards, the Gerrards, Scholesy, or, you know, when they spoke about their time at England, they always talked about how there was like cliques in the camp, cliques with the teams, and, you know, the teams, when, you know, the Man U players didn't get on with the Liverpool players and what have you, they all used to stick in their own cliques. Does this signal change for you in the England squad? You know, Harry Kane coming in, putting his arm around Saka.
That's just the guy Kane is, isn't he? He's a leader. He's always going to be welcoming, especially for the national team. He knows how important it is. And I think that was one of the big failures of the previous national teams when we had such good players. I think that's part of the reason what prevented us from really going very far in tournaments and actually having a chance of winning them, because I think these players are so competitive with each other week in, week out in the Premier League. When it came to coming together for the national team, there was always that air of competition about them. There was always that cliquiness, as the players themselves have admitted. There was all these cliques in the camp, which I think really prevented them coming together as a team properly, and always kind of overshadowed what was an amazing squad. And I think that's the difference between these modern players and the players then. I think these players are more willing to put those things aside, although we still had a small issue when, you know, Sterling and Gomez got into a fight a few months ago.
Yeah.
But apart from those isolated incidents, they seem much more of a team. They seem a lot happier together, and they seem able to put these things to one side when they go to the international duty, which they weren't able to a few back when Lampard and Gerrard and all them lot were back in the national team. So I think it's a good thing. And look, it shows the character of Harry Kane. It shows his leadership skills once again. And I think maybe just putting him into full sense of security for the North London derby, I'm hoping.
All right, so that is that. Let's move on to Dele Alli. He's put up a social media post in the last couple of days of him working hard in the gym or on the training pitch, and we'll put it up right now. And the caption was, "Make improvement, not excuses." Is that trying to catch someone's eye?
I think it's just trying to put out a message saying, look, he knows the situation. He's clearly not an idiot, and he doesn't want to let this clearly. Look, I'm not saying clearly he's going to be up for the fight or anything, because it's just an Instagram post. You know, we need to see differences on the pitch and in training and whatnot. But at least he's kind of putting out the kind of message out there that he's not feeling sorry for himself. He's not, you know, doing all these things. He knows he needs to improve, and it's not about the excuses. It's about doing it and showing it. And I think that's what he's trying to show on the Instagram post. But it's about doing it on the pitch.
Do you think that he's actually trying to show that, or do you think that he's just got a good PR team around him?
Probably both. I hope he is trying to show it. I hope he is, but I think the way things are going for him, he's going to have to adapt his game big time if he's going to get back in this Tottenham team, because at the moment that free role where he was just able to just float around, do whatever he wanted, arrive late in the box, we don't do that anymore. There's no room for that in this Tottenham team. I don't know if you
saw Football London put out a great article today or yesterday talking about the ways Dele Alli is going to have to adapt if he is going to want to fight his way into this team, and that is completely true, isn't it?
Yeah, look, he's had good games before in a centre midfield role, but he's only been used there sparingly. He hasn't really been used there on a consistent basis, and when he gets a run of games in that role, he's never really done that well. He's been good in like 1 or 2 games, off games, you know what I mean? And I just don't know. Look, I don't know if he has, because the big thing about Dele Alli is when in possession, he's very wasteful. He's not a consistent player when he gets the ball. He likes to try things and lose the ball very often.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's not exactly the best tracking back and putting on pressure. So I'm not sure he's right for that centre mid role. And I just can't. I think Lo Celso and Ndombele, in terms of the role they play in the team, they're a better fit at the moment.
I only remember once really Dele Alli playing a centre midfield role and actually playing really well. I think it was against Liverpool. I think when we beat them 4-1, he played centre mid that day and actually had a great game, like a really great game.
And also when we beat Man City 4-1 at White Hart Lane back in 2015.
So the omens are good. I mean, when he's played well there, we've had big results.
Yeah, I guess on those isolated incidents, but I think he has played there as well in other games and it hasn't gone too well. I can't remember exactly which ones, but I just look logically. I don't know if he has. There's a big question mark whether he has the attributes to compete with Ndombele and Lo Celso in that role. That's the truth.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. But anyway, let's move on to carry on from yesterday, the Loan Watch. Some of you in the comments were asking for a Juan Foyth update, so here it is. His game time has been restricted to only 4 minutes in La Liga as he's picked up a groin injury, I believe it is, and he's been pulled out the Argentinian squad for this week as well.
I see. So, all right, he's been injured under Unai Emery.
Exactly. Apparently, Emery was actually chasing him for a while and was even interested in when he was Arsenal manager.
Really?
I read somewhere.
I tell you what, Emery could have done better the job than Arteta. I'm not going to lie.
Well, he's doing a great job at Villarreal at the moment. I think they're third or fourth in the league or something.
In Emery's last 30 games, which he got sacked over, he's done better than Arteta's first 30 games.
It's crazy. Arteta's a fraud, that's why. Let's move on to Cameron Carter-Vickers. He is yet to make his Bournemouth debut due to not getting up to match fitness yet. It's actually, he hasn't had an injury, he's just not match fit, which is a really interesting.
That's interesting. Maybe you should have been keeping. He was playing for Spurs, no, over the pre-season.
He played in the pre-season, yeah.
He did, so he should be fit. You should have had that. I don't know, but listen, he's not playing for Spurs again.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Another report came out saying he has played his last game in a Tottenham shirt. He won't pull on that Tottenham shirt again.
Yeah, makes sense.
And last but not least in the Loan Watch, I want to talk about a player called Shiloh Tracy, who's on loan at Shrewsbury at the moment. 22-year-old right winger. He's been restricted to only 17 minutes of appearances this season in the league, and finally got his start this week in the EFL Cup against Crewe and bagged a hat-trick in a 4-3 win against Crewe Alexandria in the EFL Cup. 2 of those goals coming in the last 15 minutes when the side were 3-2 down. So one to keep your eye on there.
Yeah. Fair play. Maybe he's 22, so
I know.
If I haven't really heard of him, and he hasn't played any first team minutes for the team. So, look, maybe he's a late bloomer. You never know, but it's unlikely that he's going to come back to Spurs.
But anyway, good on him for getting his hat trick I think it was his first start of the season or second start. Anyway. Let's move on, and I'm just going to run through this now and just let you know where the Spurs players are playing on international break. So you've got Belgium, first up, Toby Alderweireld, the only player called up there, and they've got 3 games, 1 friendly against Switzerland and 2 Nations League, 1 against England and 1 against Denmark. You've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Obviously, Denmark are actually playing 3 games, but Højbjerg is only eligible for 1 of the games, and that is against Belgium, their last game. Reguilon got called up for Spain, and they've got 3 games, 1 friendly against Holland and 2 Nations League games, Switzerland and Germany. Hugo and Moussa Sissoko called up for France, and they've got 1 friendly and 2 Nations League game, friendly against Finland and a Nations League against Portugal and Sweden. Aurier has got to go all the way to Africa as he's been called up for Ivory Coast, and they've got 2 AFCON qualifiers against Madagascar Well, I've written Madagascar twice down here. It might be twice, but I'm not too sure about that one. Wales, Bale, Davis and Rodon under the Arsenal coach. And what's he said about Bale, that Arsenal
apparently,
coach?
Apparently he said we've got a fully fit Gareth Bale, and he's excited about it. When apparently he's fit for the USA, he's saying now. So the rumours he'll set to be rested, but he's probably going to make him play all 3 games,
Is it our right? We've got the right to pull our players out of friendlies. We just don't have the right to pull them out of Nations League. Is that not right? No. I thought there was anyway.
We don't have the right to pull our players out of international duty unless they're injured.
I thought it was only for competitive games we're not allowed to call them out for.
No, any game.
All right. Well, anyway, Bale, Davis and Rodon called up for Wales. Friendly game against USA and a Nations League against Ireland and Finland. Dyer, Kane and Winks have been called up for England, and they've got, obviously, like I mentioned, the friendly game against Ireland and Nations League game against Belgium and Iceland. Doherty been called up for Ireland, and they're playing England, obviously, in the friendly Nations League against Wales and Bulgaria. Now it gets interesting as Giovanni Lo Celso, who's been called up for Argentina, he's got to go all the way to South America with World Cup qualifiers against Paraguay and Peru. Davinson Sanchez has got to go to South America with World Cup qualifiers against Uruguay and Ecuador. And South Korea, Heung-min Son's been called up twice. And for 2 friendlies, Heung-min Son has got to play 2 friendlies against Mexico and Qatar. But luckily, it's not in South Korea, it's in Austria.
Oh, okay. Doesn't have to travel too far.
Yeah. The England under-21s, Austin, Sessegnon and Skip have all been called up for European qualifiers against Andorra and Albania. And this is some news as well, as Troy Parrott has been called up to the Ireland under-21s. Apparently he is only fit to play 45 minutes, but he's been called up for the games against Iceland and Luxembourg in European qualifiers.
45 minutes in both games?
No, just in one of the games.
What's the point in calling him up?
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
I know.
Just let him get fit, for God's sake.
I know, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is.
So all our players are basically gone away. Great.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Who's not gone away? Ndombele?
Yeah, Ndombele hasn't gone
Vinicius.
away. It's mad that Ndombele never got called up and Sissoko got
I know.
up.
Given his form, you would have thought Ndombele definitely would have been in the squad. But Deschamps loves Sissoko. He's always loved Sissoko ever since he's taken the job. Whenever he's got the chance to call up Sissoko, he's always taken it. So he's... I don't know why, but I do kind of know why, but it's a strange one.
Sissoko offers something to the team that a lot of players cannot, with his physicality and his energy in the middle of the park. So I mean, it's kind of...
I know, but they've got absolute depth, so much depth in centre midfield area. France, they've got a serious amount. And the fact that someone as limited on the ball as Sissoko continually gets picked is an interesting one. And to ask any Spurs fan, who'd you rather in the squad, Ndombele, Sissoko in their team? They all picked Ndombele. So it's I don't know. It's an interesting one why he's picked Sissoko. But look, happy days, and Ndombele can get more.
I think he must be literally the only one in for our first team players that hasn't been called up. It's actually mental.
Who else? Vinicius.
Yeah,
probably
Vinicius, Lucas. Brazil are not playing, I don't think, actually.
Okay.
None of our players have been called up to
Bergwijn pulled out, we know.
Bergwijn pulled out.
Because he was got an injury.
But it's slim pickings, isn't it? There's not many
really
players. Dele Alli, but he's not really playing at the moment, so it remains...
Literally everyone, yeah.
All right, well, that is the Tottenham update today. Let me know in the comments section below if you have any thoughts regarding anything we've said. We spoke about Dele Alli's social media posts, Saka praising Kane, and if this is kind of a shift in mentality of the England squad. The Guardian reporting about Heung-min Son's new contract. We spoke about a bit of loan watch, and we told you everywhere which the Tottenham players are going over international break. So let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always,
come on you Spurs.